I'm so excited to see you guys again today. I want to take this time, first of all, to say Merry Christmas. And I hope you guys had a very happy and safe Christmas. And now we want to kind of get down to business. Today, we're going to talk about the Homeowners Association. What does that mean? What does it cover? And what does it mean to you? So let's get into it. The Homeowners Association governs many types of properties. It covers condominiums, it covers townhouse, it covers planned unit developments, which are also known as PUD, PUD, and single family homes. Yes, some single family homes can have a homeowners association. Now let's talk about a couple of points. The state of California statutes takes precedence over all government documents and are clearly defined by the state of California Civil Code. And if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty, see Davis-Sterling Act, co-fined into the Civil Code as of January 1st of 2014. So let's talk about some of the documentation. There are some common association documents, and these documents are called covenants, conditions, and restrictions, commonly known to us as CC&Rs. So what does that mean and what does it cover? This is the legal binding document that is officially recorded and filed with the state, whatever state you're in. I'm in California, so I am speaking primarily about California documentation. The CC&Rs cover the rights and the obligations of the homeowner associations to its members and vice versa. CC&R often covers legislative issues or legal issues, property use restriction. It clearly defines the maintenance obligation for the HOA and the individual members, the mechanisms for the rule enforcements and the dispute resolutions, lender protection provisions, assessment obligations, and insurance. And these are recorded with the state, and we can get them from the title company. So if you're thinking of purchasing a condo or one of the above properties that has HOA documentation where you pay a fee, sometimes it's a couple of $100s, when you go into escrow, the title company will provide you with those documents. I want you to make sure that you read them. It's a lot of documents. It's really thick. Don't just say, okay, whatever, let me sign. Take the time to read the documents. The bylaws, which are your rules of government. The CC&Rs covers the what of the HOA. And the bylaws covers the how. The community bylaws establish the structure of the day-to-day governance of the Homeowners Association. Now, what does that mean to you? It covers the frequency of the HOA board elections, the process for nominating and electing new board members, the number of members that serve at one time, the length of the board members' service terms, the meeting frequencies, the quorum requirements, the duties, the responsibilities of the board members. Like the CC&Rs, the bylaws are difficult to change as they too require a vote by the membership to amend. You want to know how long has your board members been on the board? And what are their responsibilities? What do they do? Are they members in name only, or are they active participating? And do they live on the property? The rules and regulations. And association rules and regulations, they're like the catch-all for the things that aren't covered in the bylaws or in the CC&Rs. They're often the rules that might need revising over time due to change in the community. For example, an HOA might have a rule that states that no children are allowed in the community pool before noon. This rule would not be a part of the community CC&Rs because it might need to change seasonally or as more children move into the community. Rules must be reasonable, they can't be arbitrary, and they can't be a burden imposed. It must, whatever the burden imposed, it must outweigh the benefits. So can changes be made to the restrictions? Yes, as I said. The CC&Rs, the rules, the regulations, the bylaws are usually created when a developer incorporates the community. Over time, they make like a blanket CC&R rules. As the community fills up and as the people move in, there may need to be a change, but sometimes it's not really clear until all the residents move in. Okay. And just like I said earlier, the CC&R changes, if you make them, they have to be filed with the state. Why should you read all the CC and HOA documents? I am so glad that you asked that question. So here's a couple of reasons. There are a few of the items that can't be covered or can be covered. Some of the things you may want to know. First of all, can you park your car outside? Can you make an addition? Are there restrictions on kids playing in certain areas? Can you be fined for not obeying the HOA rules? Are there rental restrictions? Are there short-term rental restrictions like an Airbnb? Some may not be enforceable. When did you buy your unit? Things change. Are there pet limitations for the number of pets, size, or weight? Can you have a pet on the balcony, on the side yard? Can you start your motorcycle, zoom, zoom, early in the morning? Can you smoke in your unit? Are there restrictions of flying a flag? What happens if you leave your holiday decorations up too long? And what can you have on your front porch? Can you have power equipment, or maybe you can't have power equipment? Can you create a hobby shop or a carpenter shop without actual board of directors approvals? So you really want to get to know the board members and want to read the CC&Rs. Are you allowed to park in a non-passenger vehicle in your driveway? For example, if you own a company truck, for example, you work for AT&T, you drive that big truck home, can you park that in your driveway in front of your house? Don't know. Can the HOA fine you for driving too fast through the common areas? Are there architectural committees? Can they decide what color you're allowed to paint outside of your unit? What color your front door can be? Can you change the windows to energy efficient windows? And who decides what they'll look like? And where are you allowed to put your trash cans? All of these things are important. One of the most important issues or aspects of the HOA is its finances. You want to find out the budget, their annual budget report. It's required that you get one every year. Let's say, for example, you're paying $300 a month for your HOA, and there are 300 units. So every year they're collecting all of this money. What does that money go toward? You want to make sure that you know that answer. Do they have what's called a reserved fund? In case something breaks in the community area, do they have money to fix that? What if they have security cameras all around and the security cameras break? And let's say this is a larger property. It could be 200 units. Is there money to repair that? Or do they need to do what's called a special assessment, where they're going to figure out how much it's going to cost to replace these security cameras? And they're going to ask every homeowner to pay a special assessment. How much is it? How long does it last? Is everyone paying it? You want to know those things. This is really important, especially if your community allows renters to be able to rent and the owner has moved away. That owner is still responsible for that assessment. So those are things that you want to know. Another important thing to know is the homeowner association currently in or recently got out of a litigation? Did someone bring a financial lien up on the association where now they're battling as to what's going to happen with the property, what's going to happen with the finances? These are things that you want to know. Oftentimes when I'm working with my clients and they have an FHA loan, they want to buy a condo, sometimes it can be really hard because not all condominiums are FHA approved. Sometimes they're not approved for a lot of the reasons that I just stated. They don't have enough reserves. They have too many people renting within the complex. And they did not complete all of the paperwork that's required for them to be FHA approved. So when we tell you, oh, you asked me, Teresa, I want to see this property. Okay, great. But you know what? That property is not FHA approved and you have an FHA loan. Are you able to switch over and do a conventional loan? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. So those are some things to consider. Let's see what else we want to talk about. We talked about the reserved. They will do a reserve assessment. It's required by law. And they're going to do it at least once every 3 years. And you have a right to ask for that document if you are a current homeowner within your homeowners association. You have a right. Anytime there's a meeting, anytime there's a vote, anytime there's a special assessment, anything that goes on, you have a right to see those documents. This is also important. You want to identify the major components that the association is obligated to repair, replace, restore, or maintain. For example, are they required to upkeep and keep up with the common laundry area? Are they required to keep up the community pool? Are they required to cut the grass? Let's say you have a park right in your community living area inside of the gates. Are they required to do that? You want to know, what do they cover? Does the HOA cover if you have termites outside on your balcony? It's still a part of your property, but it's outside of your unit. Does the HOA cover that? Know those things. Make sure that you know. And if there's an estimate, if they need to get an estimate for cost, repair, restoration, or maintenance, or components, whatever is identified, that you have the right to have a say in what it's going to cost. Because after all, if they need to do a special assessment, they're coming to you for the money. So just really take the time to get involved with your association. Another thing you want to know is, did the association take out any loans? Maybe they did. Maybe they had a special assessment and not enough members was paying, so they had to take out a loan. You need to know that because that depletes their reserves. If the association doesn't have a strong balance sheet, that could be a problem. That could be financial issues that take years to repair and build back up. You want to know all of those things. So ask questions, get involved. If you're looking to purchase a condominium, make sure that when we're working together, we ask those questions. And we can ask those questions while we're in escrow. We get to look at that information. That's part of our home purchase process with the inspections, with the disclosures, all of that information we get to look at. And if there's something major, we get to have a conversation and find out, is this something that we can work with? Is this something that we can live with? Will they repair it? Or do we need to step back from this transaction and go find a different condo? So thank you for joining me. That is my tip for Sundays with M&Ms. Again, if you're looking at this broadcast either on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or LinkedIn, or if you're looking at it on YouTube, wherever you are, please comment. I'd love to hear your suggestions and topics that you would like to see and hear about with Sundays with M&Ms. It is my goal to be your go-to person for real estate. It is my goal to make sure that you are informed and educated on one of the biggest purchases or the biggest sale that you're going to do. So always remember and don't forget that I work with clients who are going through life-changing events, whether it is a trust sale, a probate sale, a divorce sale, if you just got married and you had a new baby and you want to upgrade, or you're like me with all the children are grown and everybody's in their own house and you want to downsize, just you and your husband or wife or partner, friend, roommate, whoever it is. Now is a great time to take a look, have that conversation. The new year is right around the corner. This could be the year for you to get into your home of your dreams. So thank you for watching. And remember, if you're looking at this on YouTube, remember to click the subscribe button. I'm super excited. There's a little notification that you can click that bell and you'll be notified every time that we go live. So from my home to your home, have a great day. Have a great rest of your Sunday. And I look forward to talking to you again on Sundays with M&M.